Hello boys and girls, welcome back to the second video of this mathematics session, right? And what are we doing? We are doing real numbers which comes for 6 marks, okay? So let's continue with part 2. Part 2, we are doing assertion and reasoning and case study based integrated questions, okay? So if you're wondering what was part 1 was for MCQs, and if you want to know more, click the link to know more, okay? Let's go for the first question. The first question is, the assertion says the HCF of 25 and 30 is 5, okay? If P and Q are two numbers, then their HCF is the largest number that divides both P and Q without leaving a remainder, okay? So you know the options of assertion reasoning is always the same: option A, option B, option C, and option D. Now, let's look at the statement. HCF of 25 and 30 is 5. Yes, we know, right? It's very pretty simple. HCF of 25 and 30 is 5. Nothing to calculate much. And we also know that if there are two numbers and HCF is that number which divides both the numbers without leaving any remainder. Let's check. 5 ko, let's divide. 25 divided by 5, you get quotient as 5, remainder 0. 30 ko when you divide by 5, you get the quotient as 6, and again the remainder 0. It's a very simple question which says both assertion and reason are true, and the reason is definitely the correct explanation for the assertion. Getting it? Let's go for the next question. It says if the LCM of two integers is 120, we don't know what are the integers, and their product is 30 into 48, then the HCF is 24. Okay, let's check. Its reasoning says the HCF can be calculated using the formula. You know this relation, right? Between two numbers, HCF into LCM is always equal to the product of integers. Let's again have the options. You know the options are always same. Let's have some working space. They are claiming the HCF is 24. Let's check. And let's start with the relation which we know. It says HCF into LCM is equal to product of the integers. And what is the product of the integers they're talking about? It is 30 into 48. We need to find out the HCF, right? So HCF into LCM is 120 is equal to 30 into 48. Let's try to find the HCF. 30 into 48. I'm not multiplying because I know I have to cancel this out, right? Upon this 120 gets transposed to the denominator. Very simple cheese. Let's first cut the zeros. Now, you know it is 12 ones are and 12 fours are 48. And you're left with 3 into 4. What is 3 into 4? HCF is 12. Ooh. They said the HCF is 24. But again, understand, this assertion is false. And you have only one option which says the assertion is false, but I get yes. And the statement or the reason is true. So option D is the correct option. Getting the point? Okay, let's go for the next question. It says the expression n square is even if n is even for every positive integer. You know what is an integer, right? It starts with negative, 0, and then positive, like a number line. Now we are talking about just positive integers. So obviously, we have studied in the lower standards that square of every even number is a square number. Take 2, 2 ka square is 4. Take 4, 4 ka square is 16. Take any even number, its square is always going to be even. So I know that the assertion is definitely true. Now let's see about the reasoning. It says the square root of any positive integer is either a whole number or an irrational number. We'll have to think about it, right? Let's see the options as usual, the same options. Let's have a board. Now, they're talking about square root of any positive integer. 1, 2, 3, 4, all are positive integers, right? We want to find the square root, guys. What is square root of 1? 1. Whole number? Yes. Square root of 2, you know it is irrational because it's 1.414, which is a non-terminating and non-recurring decimal called as irrational number. Root 3 again, same 1.732 something something, goes on and on and on. But what is root 4? Which is 2. So, you can do this for every integer. You always get only two answers. Either it is a whole number or an irrational number. Again, the reason is also true. But guys, do you think this reasoning is a correct explanation for this assertion? Because it's saying something else, this is saying something else. So we go for option B, which says both the assertion and reason are true, but the reason is definitely not the correct explanation for the assertion. Are you getting it? So I hope this is clear. Right. Now, let's go for some case study based questions. Very simple. Let's read the question first and let's understand the case study. To enhance the reading skills of grade 10 students, the school nominates you and your two friends, I hope you have friends who read, to set up a class library. There are two sections, section A and section B of grade 10th, with 28 students in section A, 28 students in section A and 42 students in section B. Your task is very simple, is to organize a library that caters to the reading needs of both the sections. When I say reading needs, matlab kya? We need to buy some books, right? If there are no books, why it would be called as a library? Let's understand the first question. It says, what is the minimum number of books? Minimum number of books I want. I don't want the maximum number of books. It could be infinity, right? Or it could be many books. No. Minimum number of books you will acquire for the class library so that they can be distributed equally among students of section A or section B. Very important. Okay. So let's have a calculation area for this now. We have 28 students. I need to get some books so that they get those books. And then I have 42 students in section B. I need to find that number of books which can be distributed equally. Matlab I'm finding something which is common for both, right? Question clearly says minimum number. Minimum matlab lowest number, least number. Now, abhi, guys, I've got 28 students, I've got 42 students. We did the MCQ video where we discussed that if the number which we're trying to find out, or the answer which we're trying to find out is going to be bigger, obviously we're going to find something called as a multiple. So I need to find out the multiples of 28 and 42, which is common and at the same time least. That means I'm finding out the LCM of 28 and 42. Right? So let's go for the LCM of 28 and 42. For that, we need prime factorization of 28. Okay, 28 is 4 sevens are, so I can write it as 2 square into 7. Right? Now, what is 42? 42 is what? 6 sevens are. 6 is 2 into 3 into 7. We are finding out LCM, guys, right? So LCM, what is LCM? LCM is the highest power of all the prime factors involved. What is the highest power? 2 square into 3 into 7. Now, what is 2 square? 4. 4 threes are 12. 12 sevens are 84. Now, I need 84 books at least, minimum, to cater for this library. Are you understanding? So the answer for the first question is 84. Getting the point? Very simple question. Let's go for the next question. It says, if the product of two positive integers is equal to the product of their HCF and LCM, which we already knew is true, then the HCF of 28 and 42. Very simple. We need to find the HCF. So let's find out the HCF. Since we have already done with the prime factorization of 28 and 42, what is HCF? HCF is the smallest number which is there in both. Okay, so we are going for the smallest power. 2 square 2, smallest power is 2, but definitely it should be same. Anything other than 2? Do you think? 2 square, yes, there is also a 7. 2 sevens are 14. So the HCF of 28 and 42 is what? 14, because 14 threes are and 14 twos are. Getting the point? The answer for the second one. Let's go for the third question. Now, third question is, if P and Q are positive integers, P and Q are positive integers such that P is equal to AB square. Okay, let's go for P is equal to AB square and Q is equal to A square B, where A and B are prime numbers. That means there are nothing inside A and B. Then the LCM, again I told you, what is LCM? LCM is the highest power, product of highest power of all the factors involved. So if I want the LCM of P and Q, A and A square, which is the highest power, definitely A square. B and B square, which is the highest power, it is B square. So the answer is to this question is LCM is A square B square. Are you getting this point? Great. Let's go for the next question. It says 42 can be expressed as the product of its primes as, right? Guys, we have already done this, right? 42 is nothing but 2 into 3 into 7. Basic question. It's a very easy question for you to score 1 mark from this, right? So 42 is 2 into 3 into 7. Let's go for the next question. It says 7 into 11 into 13 into 15 plus 15 is a dash. Now, is a dash matlab, what do you think it is? We have a textual question on this, NCERT question based exactly like this, okay? We need to tell them if it's a prime number or a composite number, okay? Let's try this. We're saying 7 into 11 into 13. So let's have 7 into 11 into 13 into 15 plus 15, okay? Now, what do you think is common in both. 15 and 15, I take 15 common. I'm ending up with 7 into 11 into 13 plus 1. Okay, now understand. 15 can be written as 3 into 5. Okay, I'm very lazy, okay, but I'm very smart. I'm not going to multiply this. I'm going to say this might be a very big number, right? Let us take x, and x plus 1 also is going to be a very big number, okay? Now, as you can see, this whole expression I've broken down into 3 into 5 into something. I don't care if it's a number, a big number or what. So, if I can write any number as a product of its primes, and if it has more than 2 factors, then it is called as a composite number. For the answer for this, it is a composite number. Getting the point? Okay, so was it easy? Right? So we have got many questions for you all. So we did such questions, and we have some questions so that you can challenge yourselves, and you can also give it to your friends. And if you like this video, I want you to comment the answers for this. And until next time with the next chapters, bye bye, take care, have fun, bye.